Okay, so I've gotten a lot of questions about releases, and everybody is switching to a hinge release or a thumb button because they don't think that a wrist rocket or a wrist strap release is as accurate. So I wanted to test that. So I got this release here, which is a TrueFire Sear X hinge release, and then I got this Scott wrist strap release. Any release that you shoot, you should be accurate with. You should still have the same. Chris B talks about having the same technique with every release you got, and that is nothing but the truth. Any release that you have, you should still have the same technique, and you should still be able to shoot it as accurate as any release that you shot forever. Now with a hinge release, a lot of people think and call this a back tension release. A hinge release is not a true back tension release. A true back tension release, you draw back, kind of like the Carter releases, you'll draw back, you got a safety thumb peg, you'll let off, and that deactivates the safety. And then you increase back tension, increase push and pull, push and pull, push and pull straight back in a straight line, push and pull, and then the shot breaks when you have reached the amount of tension that it takes to set that release off. Now with a hinge release, it does that, it hinges. You have two ledges, so them ledges, let's see if I can get this right, we'll do it like this. So you have your hook here, and then you have your sear right here, or your moon. And what you do is, in relaxation and rotation, your ledges start to fall off. So you're actually hinging the release like this. You're hinging the release to get the two ledges to fall off of each other. With a wrist strap release, you'll have the same technique as a true back tension release. You want to get a deep hook around that trigger, and then it's just a push and pull, push and pull, push and pull until the shot goes off. So we're going to go through and I want to test and see how accurate a wrist strap release is compared to a hinge release, and walk on back, shoot both of them. We're going to shoot 2 arrows at the block target, and we're going to walk on back and see what kind of groups that we can get, and see if you can really be as accurate with a wrist strap release as you can with a hinge release. So the first couple shots that I'm going to do is with a hinge release. And I forgot my rangefinder, so we're at about 20 yards. Arrow poked me in the armpit. Smacking arrows together. So that's a pretty average group, 20 yards with a hinge release. Now with a wrist strap, what I like to do is I like to get this pretty snug, and then I like to, if you've got a rope system, I like to get my rope to where I get a deep hook around that trigger release, but I still got enough spring that when I pull back, it activates those jaws. It's all dependent. You can have one where it's got spring in like this, to where you can pull through, pull, it takes a little bit longer, or you can have a real hard, crisp trigger release that whenever you pull, you don't feel any movement. You're just pulling and it goes off. I like to have mine with a little bit of give in it, because a real crisp release, whenever you activate it to where, I mean, if you barely touch it and hit it and it goes off, it's almost like you're at a ledge and you jump off of a ledge, to where if you have some spring in that movement, it's like a slide. You gradually slide down to the shot. There's no such thing as a surprise shot, but there is such a thing as a controlled shot. It's a lot easier to control that slide than it is to control jumping off a ledge. So, like at 20. Get a deep hook around. And see, we still smacked arrows together. It hit a little bit different than it did with the hinge because the anchor point changed, but 20 yards still got a good arrow smacking group. So let's step it on back. Okay, so I stepped it way back. We're at about 40 now. what I'm judging for 40. And I'm gonna use the wrist strap first. So I'm gonna kind of go back and forth. That way it's, I guess, even. I think we've got a pretty good group with that still. Wow, so it did go wider. And that could have been me, but that's interesting. It is very interesting. I could tell a big difference in how I hold with the hinge, and I want to say that's just because I'm more comfortable with that anchor point. And whenever you're choosing a release, choose what's most comfortable for you and what shoots the best for you. But we're just doing this for a comparison. There is the group at 40. I was probably about a yard off, so that was, I had it for 43 actually, so that's probably about 44 yards around in there. But we still hit a tight group, or what I'm judging to be 60. And I'm kind of a ledge here. And kick that ledge down, move this camera. There we go. That's better. So I'm gonna shoot the center of this, and I got kind of a hard shot because it's in between some crap, but I'm gonna aim for that center dot. We're gonna shoot the hinge first. Had a good line too. Okay, so we hit the center of the dot at 60, and then we kind of fell below the dot at 60. And that one was me on that one. So now we will shoot it with the wrist strap release and see how that compares to that. And a daggum fly was biting the far out of me. All right, same grip. That flew way to the left. Now that's a pretty tight group. Pretty good group at 60. So that goes to show you that it doesn't really matter what release you have. As long as you have the same technique, and as long as that you have a good controlled shot, then you can make good shots with a wrist strap, a hinge release, a thumb button release. All you got to do is just work through your mental game and practice and get a good controlled shot. It doesn't matter what release you take to the range, to tournaments, or to hunting. It just all depends on what you are most comfortable with. So let me know in the comments what you hunt with. A hinge, thumb button, wrist strap release, and don't forget to like and subscribe. A lot of you that watch this don't subscribe. So I'll see you guys in the next video. That'll do it for this one. Kind of a quick video, but I'll catch you guys on the next one.